Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, and now here I am with another retro wrestling review. Because, yeah, when I reviewed Bash at the Beach 1996 last month, like I said in that review, I was saying that with that pay-per-view, like with the NWO formation, that really was when, like, WCW, like, really just, like, took off in the ratings, and yeah, they just, like, reigned over the WWF for basically like the next 2 years. And so yeah, I figured I would just like review a show that really did show like how much the WCW really was like dominating the WWF during that time. And so yeah, and I decided that a pay-per-view that really does show that is WCW Fall Brawl 1996. Yeah, this pay-per-view just like was just a couple of months after the NWO formation Bash at the Beach, and yeah, this really was like a great show. I mean, this really was like the WCW like really at its peak like during the whole NWO angle. Yeah, because yeah, this really was just a great show, and this show really does like just see like this makes you see like how much the WCW really was just like dominating over the WWF during this time. Like this time really was like WCW's best period, I would say. And yeah, this really was a great show. I mean, this really does have really what I think that really like WCW really did do best. Like of course they had like the Cruiserweight division, which was really great, like I said before. And they also like had a bunch of international stars with some really great matches like they like were also really great at doing. And yeah, this pay-per-view really just like had it all that WCW really was best at. I mean, yeah, you had like all some really good matches on the show, and yeah, you did like have a few matches that really were not that great, but I mean, yeah, the good stuff on the show definitely like really like far outdoes the bad. Of course, like this show is really most well known for the main event, but yeah, I'll get to the main event when I reach it in this review. But yeah, a lot of the other stuff on this show really was like really good to great too. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, of course, like this show, like this did have the WarGames match. So yeah, there were like two rings like for this show, which I really did think was pretty interesting. Yeah, really did like always find it interesting that anytime like WCW really had the War Games matches, they like used two rings for it. And yeah, just like the two rings were like used for the entire show. So yeah, I did think that was pretty interesting. But yeah, this show was just like a really great show, and yeah, just like I said, this is just like WCW at its best, really, during the whole like NWO like Monday Night War era. So, yeah, let me just go through the card. So, yeah, the show kicked off with Diamond Dallas Page versus Chavo Guerrero, and this was like a really good match right here. I mean, yeah, this was just like when like Chavo had just started out in the WCW, and yeah, he like did really good here. And yeah, this was also like you remember like when I reviewed Bash at the Beach, like that was really when DDP really was like not really like that well. And yeah, he was just like not really that big. But yeah, during this time like this was really when DDP really was like starting to become more over, and yeah, he really was like really improving in the ring and stuff. And yeah, he really was like getting like a lot better and stuff. And yeah, this really was a really good match. I mean, yeah, you had like a bunch of near falls in this match, and yeah, really like these guys really did do well together in the ring. They had like really good chemistry, and yeah, there was like a bunch of near falls in this. Like the one where I actually really did think it was over was when DDP gave like that power bomb to Chavo, but Chavo actually survived it. I thought that would have been the end. Yeah. And yeah, just like a lot of near falls in this match. And yeah, I really did like the ending where like TDP tried to go for a diamond cutter, but Chavo countered it. And he tried to go for like the back bridge pin and stuff, but then DDP countered that again and got the diamond cutter in on Chavo, and then DDP got the win, and yeah, DDP got the pin, and yeah, he won. So yeah, this definitely was like a really good match and a great way to open up the show. I give that like 3.5 stars. And then next up, we had like a submission match with Scott Norton versus Ice Train, and yeah, this really wasn't very good. I mean, this match was only like 7 minutes, and yeah, it was like really slow paced and not interesting, and I was really just kind of bored by it. I mean, like this only lasted like 7 minutes, and yeah, this majority of this match really was just Ice Train like meeting down Scott Norton, and yeah, Ice Train was just like having a bunch of submissions on Scott Norton, and then yeah, eventually like Scott Norton like was starting to fight back, and he had like an armbar on Ice Train, which was just like seemed to be like forever that he had it on, and then he just ended up like letting go of it, but yeah, Ice Train didn't even fight out of it. Like Scott Norton just decided to let go of the armbar for some reason. And then, yeah, eventually, like it looked like Scott Norton was, like, getting the upper hand again, but then, like, Teddy Long, who was, like, ringside with Ice Train, like, got involved, and then Scott Norton, like, fought off Teddy Long, but then, yeah, Scott Norton then, like, just ended up, like, being in a full Nelson by Ice Train, and then Scott Norton eventually just tapped out, and then Ice Train got the win. So yeah, this really wasn't a very good match. I really was like pretty bored by it. Yeah, just really not good. I give that like, I don't know, 1 star. And then next up we had the AAA Championship match with Juventud Guerrera versus Konan. And oh gosh, this really was just a really good, maybe even great match right here. I mean, yeah, like I was just saying, this just shows like how awesome the Cruiserweight division really was, because yeah, Juventud Guerrera really was great in this match. Yeah, one of the parts I really did like with this match was like, at one point Juventud Guerrera was on, like in the corner of one of the rings, and then he like bounced off of the ropes, and then bounced to the other side of that, the other corner on the rope, and then bounced to the next ring with the ropes, and then just got jumped at Konan, and that was like a really awesome spot. And yeah, this was just like a really great match, some really good back and forth action between the two of them. There was a lot of times where they ended up like diving outside of the ring and stuff. There was like a lot of brawling outside of the ring. Yeah, I mean, this was just like a really great match. I mean, yeah, must be like, it's probably like arguably Konan's best match ever. I mean, yeah, this really was a really great match. Just a lot of great back and forth action between the two of them, and yeah, it was like a pretty nice ending where like Konan like hit a huge super bomb on Juventud Guerrera from the top turnbuckles, and then yeah, got the pin, and yeah, Konan won the match. So yeah, this was just like a really great match. I give this like 4 stars. Just awesome stuff right here. And then next up we had Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit in Chris Jericho's WCW debut match. And yeah, this was like another like really good match. I don't think it was great or anything. This really wasn't as good as like the matches they had in the WWF in like 2000 and 2001. But I mean, yeah, this was still like a pretty good match. And, I mean, there was a lot of good back and forth between the two guys. And yeah, like there was a lot of submission and attempts in this match and stuff, and then yeah, just like a really good match between the two of them. And then at the end, like Chris Benoit, like he hit like was it one of his splashes or something? Yeah, I forgot what it actually was, how he finished this match, but yeah, Chris Benoit ended up getting the win in this match. So yeah, it was a really good match. Like I said, not really like great, but still good. Even though that they did have better matches in the WWF, but yeah, still a good match nonetheless. I give that probably 3.5 stars also. Then next up, we had the Cruiserweight Championship match with Rey Mysterio Jr. defending against Super Caló. Mm, this was, I guess, a decent match. I mean, I, there wasn't like really anything that interesting about this match, really. But I mean, yeah, it wasn't like a really like terrible or anything. Just like nothing really too special about it. I mean, yeah, really like most of this match really was Super Callow on offense in this match, and then yeah, it was just like Rey Mysterio ended up like getting his share of offense in the match, and then uh, yeah, in the end, yeah, Rey Mysterio Jr. ended up getting the win. So yeah, really like a decent match, but really nothing anything that spectacular really. Give it about like 3 stars. And plus, I felt that this really like went on kind of too long. I mean, this match was like 15 minutes. Really felt that you could have like been probably like maybe 7 or 8 minutes. Really, I felt that it kind of like dragged on. I really felt it did kind of go on a little bit too long, but yeah, they still did like have a good match. I give it 3 stars, like I said. And next up, we had the Tag Team Championship match with Harlem Heat defending against the Nasty Boys. And this really wasn't very good either. I mean, yeah, the match really was kind of slow. I mean, there was really like nothing interesting in this match really. And I felt that this was another one that really went too long. I mean, this match lasted like 15 minutes also. Really felt that this really dragged on, especially like since it really wasn't interesting at all. It was really just like slow-paced action between both teams. And then like you had Sherry who was like at ringside with Harlem Heat, like trying to get involved a few times in this match. You also had like the Colonel also down at ringside with Harlem Heat. And yeah, the Colonel and like Sherry were like getting involved in this match, or at least trying to. And then yeah, it was just like really slow action, really not really interesting at all. Pretty boring to be honest. And then yeah, the Nasty Boys actually did have the match won after they like Jerry Sags like hit like was it a power bomb or something onto what, I forgot if it was Booker T or Stevie Ray. Yeah, he did to one of them, and then Brian opted a splash. But yeah, the Colonel was like distracting the referee and stuff, and yeah, Jerry Sags was like distracted with it also. And then yeah, he then like grabbed the Colonel's cane and then just hit Brian Knobs over the head with it. And then that allowed Harlem Heat to then get the pin, and then Harlem Heat won. So yeah, it really wasn't that interesting, and yeah, really just too long, and yeah, just not interesting. So I give that like, I don't know, a star and a half. Then next up, we had the Macho Man Randy Savage versus the Giant, aka Big Show. And I don't know, this really was just kind of like, I mean, not horrible or anything, but I mean, just, yeah, I felt that it was just kind of like a so-so match. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this was like really like part of like the whole WCW NWO rivalry with this time. And yeah, basically, I felt like they were trying to do with this what like it was like at WrestleMania 3 with Hulk Hogan and Andre, because yeah, they a couple of points in this match, like Macho Man tried to like pick up Giant and slam him, but he couldn't do it. Yeah, and yeah, it was just kind of just like some back and forth brawling here, and eventually then Macho Man actually ended up managing to body slam Giant, and then yeah, the crowd just went nuts after he did it. And when Macho Man was trying to go for the flying elbow drop, then like Hulk Hogan then came out and was just like distracting Macho Man, and then he was just luring Macho Man to chase him up the aisleway, and then yeah, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall also appeared, and then Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall were just attacking Macho Man. And then yeah, they brought him back into the ring, and and yeah, Giant then just ended up defeating Macho Man. So yeah, it was just like a so-so match, not terrible, but just a so-so match really, not good, not bad, just so-so. I give it like, I don't know, 2 stars. And then we got the main event, which was the WarGames match. It was the NWO versus WCW, and and the story behind this match was that, there was just like 3 guys on each team were known, and it was the NWO, it was like showing that Sting was like supposedly joining the NWO, because on the previous Nitro, like, it showed like Sting supposedly attacking Lex Luger and stuff, and then like before this match, like Sting was like telling Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, and Lex Luger, who were on the WCW side in this match, that it wasn't him attacking Luger, but they didn't believe him. And so, and then it went into this match, it was like I said, Team WCW, which was Lex Luger, Ric Flair, and Arn Anderson known, and it wasn't known at this point if there would actually be a 4th man on the WCW team. And the NWO, of course, was Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and they also had like a surprise teammate also that they didn't reveal yet. Yeah. And so the match started off with Scott Hall and Arn Anderson, and this really was like a really good match. I mean, this was like probably the biggest WarGames in history. I mean, probably. I mean, I don't know if it was like really like the best WarGames ever, but this was probably like, considering what was like going on, like the stuff between NWO and WCW, this was probably the biggest WarGames match. Yeah. And it started off, like I said, with Scott Hall and Arn Anderson. This match was like in a different format from like all the other WarGames matches that took place before it. For this match, like the rest of the combatants for the teams just remained back in the locker room rather than just like hanging out at ringside like it was before this. Scott Hall and Arn Anderson were fighting it out for like the first period in the WarGames, and then the NWO ended up winning the coin toss to give them the 1-man advantage in this match. So then, Kevin Nash then was the next entrant for the NWO in this match, and they were like, of course, like getting the upper hand on Arn Anderson and like just beating him down. And then Lex Luger then ended up coming out for WCW next, and then it just like continued, like they continued to fight and brawl with each other, and then Hulk Hogan then was the next one to come out for the NWO, and it was basically just like how every WarGames really was, where like basically like the heel team, of course, like had the 1-man advantage, which that was basically the case in every WarGames match, and anytime like there was like the heel team was up by the 1-man advantage, they of course like had the advantage, and they were dominating and stuff and just beating the face team down, which was the case here with the NWO beating down the WCW. And eventually then Ric Flair then came out for WCW, and then Ric Flair was really fighting it out with Hulk Hogan and stuff. And then like and then like it just, nobody knew who then like were the 4th team members were for either team. And then once it got to the NWO's turn for the 4th man to come out, it then like was who we thought was Sting. Of course, like the who supposedly was Sting then came out for the NWO. And then of course, like everyone just felt that thought that Sting really did betray WCW and join with the NWO, and yeah, but then once it was time for WCW's turn, then the real Sting then ran out, and then, yeah, it was then revealed that Sting was telling the truth about it not being him and not joining the NWO, and then Sting laid out the entire NWO team, but then after he laid them all out, he then just ended up leaving the match, and yeah, and then, of course, like, this would, of course, like make Sting, like, transition from the Surfer gimmick to the Crow gimmick. Yeah. And, yeah, the match then just ended up continuing. And then, yeah, then, like, the NWO Sting then had Lex Luger in a Scorpion Deathlock, and Hulk Hogan also got a headlock on Lex Luger. And Lex Luger then just ended up, like, passing out, and then the referees then just called for the bell, and yeah, the NWO then ended up getting the win. And then, yeah, this was when, like, the NWO, like, ended up, like, getting Empower in this neck. But then, yeah, the brawling then just ended up continuing with the NWO beating down the WCW guys, and yeah, the NWO Sting didn't just end up, like, disappearing after the match, as, like, the beating down was still going on. And yeah, it just then just spilled into the aisleway, but then, yeah, Macho Man then came out and then, yeah, was, like, went after Hulk Hogan and brought him back to the ring, but then, yeah, as he was, like, getting at Hulk Hogan to attack him, then the Giant then came out and then, yeah, he choke slammed Macho Man, and then, yeah, all four members of the NWO were then just beating down Macho Man, and then Miss Elizabeth eventually then came out, and then, yeah, she was just trying to plead with them to stop attacking Macho Man, but then, yeah, then Miss Elizabeth then ended up just, like, winning over Macho Man, and then Hulk Hogan just ended up spray painting NWO on Miss Elizabeth's dress. Yes, yeah, and yeah, they just continue to beat down Macho Man, and yeah, Giant then just ended up giving Macho Man another chokeslam, and so yeah, this will of course would like continue on to advance like the match between Hulk Hogan and Macho Man at Halloween Havoc the next month and stuff. So yeah, but then yeah, the NWO just got in power, like all their demands like had to be met and stuff, and then yeah, like I said, and then yeah, the thing, stuff with Sting just like ended up leading to him like transitioning into the Crow gimmick, and yeah, I should talk like the Sting that he got like to be like, well, the guy that they got to pose as Sting for the NWO actually like really was a pretty good lookalike for Sting. Like it wasn't like completely obvious that it wasn't the real Sting. It wasn't like how when the WWF brought back Razor Ramon and Diesel had like it of course obviously wasn't Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Here, like for the NWO Sting, it actually was like a pretty good lookalike. Like I mean yeah, I mean I think that like this guy could actually like really like could have really like made you believe he really was Sting if like the real Sting he like didn't even come out. This would have like really convinced people that this really was Sting, and this guy even could like really pose as like the actual Sting character. I think people really would like believe it really would be Sting. So yeah, props to WCW for really getting a really good lookalike to pose as the Sting for the NWO in this match. I mean, it was really good, and yeah, it was like a really good match. Yeah, with some really good brawling between the two teams. Yeah, and just, yeah, like I said, the stuff with Sting, like, leading to the Crow gimmick, that, of course, would, like, lead to, like, some really good and stuff also, so, yeah. So, yeah, really good match. Yeah, like I said, probably the biggest WarGames match. Not the best, but the biggest one. Yeah, I would give it probably, like, 3 3/4. Yeah. So, yeah, overall, the show, I would give it... Overall, the show, I would give it probably an 8 out of 10. I mean, yeah, some really good stuff on here. I mean, yeah, the match between Konan and Juventud Guerrero was great. This one was really good. Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho was good. DDP versus Chavo was good. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff. And, yeah, a lot of this stuff was just, like just advanced storylines, especially with the main event with the NWO getting in power and stuff. So, yeah, this is basically, like, how it kind of, like, was Bash at the Beach. Just, like, what it really did for WCW, and yeah, just like how big it really was. So yeah, that's just like really like one of the reasons why this is just such a great show, just because like it just has like such big stuff about it. Alright, so yeah, that does it for a review of WCW Fall Brawl 1996. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, so yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.